What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the busiest lady in the business, Andrea Renee.
What's good, Greg?
You hosting EA. Someone said to do that on Twitter, right, or Reddit,
Yesterday,
or somewhere, and
yeah,
I nailed
Twitter,
it. And then they wanted credit, and I said, that's a bridge too far. I won't do you. Oh, by the way, it's Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. I didn't say that.
It's John Drake's birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, John Drake.
Happy birthday,
Everybody
honey.
hit up John Drake.
At John T. Drake on Twitter. I said if you have some time, send him a funny GIF.
Okay. Of what? Anything?
Anything.
Oh, does he like gifts that much, or he's trying to annoy him?
Oh, I just want him to know that people are thinking about him on his special day.
Okay. Send him John Vignacchi gifts. He loves those. Andrea, you're hosting EA. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So I announced that yesterday. I'm going to be doing the pre-show with Mr. Jose Sanchez, who is wonderful.
Yeah.
He did some stuff for EA last year. And then I'm going to be doing some stuff throughout the press conference.
Sure.
And then we're going to be doing Jose and I are going to be doing some cool stage stuff at the Fan Fest throughout the weekend at EA Play.
Very, very nice.
So if you're going to be in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, at EA Play, please come by and say hi if you see me.
Of course, you can be part of the show by writing into kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like CP did. CP writes in and says, Dear Greg and Andrea, parentheses, this one is mostly more for the busiest lady in the business. Andrea, congrats on the EA gig. Obviously, you're NDA'd up the wazoo about reveals and secrets, but I wonder if you could tell us a bit about the behind-the-scenes efforts of putting on something as huge as EA Play. What has surprised you most about the process now that you're getting to see a bit more of it from the inside? How do you handle the pressure of being on the E3 stage? Have a great day, both of you. Can't wait for the E3 coverage. CP in London. Oi, governor!
CP, you are correct. I have signed many legal documents, which is one of the many reasons why I had to sit out of the GameCast predictions last week. Bummer for me, but you guys killed it. It's going to be a fun one. So there's so many people who are working on this behind the scenes from so many different studios. And what's been really great about being part of that behind the scenes process is just seeing how the entire company is really coming together to make this thing happen and how it really takes a village.
Yeah.
And really seeing the passion behind each of the individual developer teams about their respective projects and how excited everybody is about it. I mean, we all as fans are super hyped for E3, and you know, it's sometimes we lose sight of the fact that there's so many people hard at work for what the developers are showcasing at the show. You know, like we get really pumped for a trailer, but we don't stop to think how many people it took to make that trailer possible.
And how it breaks their heart when it leaks early, like every other E3 announcement this year.
Right? Yeah. So it's been really great working with them. Everyone's been so fantastic. I'm really, really pumped. It's going to be great.
Do you CPS, how do you handle the pressure? Do you feel the pressure of being on an E3 stage?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When I went into my first meeting and there was like 30 to 40 people there.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey guys, thanks for trusting me. It's gonna be great. I mean, am I nervous? Of course. Am I gonna be nervous that morning? Yes. But I live for this stuff. You're live for this stuff.
Yeah, of course.
It's what we do.
Well, we're proud of you, Andrea.
Thank you.
I want you to blink throughout the show at random times if you played Anthem. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show. Write in to kindafunny.com/KFGD with your questions, comments, bad PSN names, and everything else under the video game sun. Then watch us record it live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. If you're watching live, you have a special job. Go to kindafunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up. That way we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Housekeeping for you. The Gamescast with RE3 predictions again is up. Remember, this is up on youtube.com/kindafunnygames and on podcast services around the globe. Usually I would have replaced it today, but I wanted to thank you. It's doing extremely well for a Gamescast. We're very proud of it. I'm glad so many of you are enjoying it. E3, of course, is right around the corner. As we know, it kicks off Saturday with Andrea and EA. Here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames, we'll be doing pre-shows, live reaction streams, and post-shows for each and every conference. Of course, not the PC one. Come on. And then I'm going to get to this limited run one later and Devolver, like not those ones. I love Devolver. What is 8-Bout's release date? That's all I need to know. I digress. Those will all be live on Twitch, of course. Then the live reactions get put on youtube.com/kindafunnygames later. Then The Games Cast post shows go up on audio feeds and youtube.com/kindafunnygames later, as you'd expect. We can now officially announce, too, that we are streaming Thursday afternoon from the GameSpot stage. Kinda Funny is on 2:40 to 6 p.m. Then we're doing a meet and greet out there. You don't need to pass. It's at LA Live, 6:30 p.m. Thursday night. Come hang out with us. Andrea.
Yes.
You and the What's Good Games girls, God, it's always a tongue twister, are doing this as well.
Yes. So we are going to be on the co-op stage. We were all part of that superhero Avengers Assemble video that Chastity put together. We will be streaming 4 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, June 12th.
Great.
That's when we will be on the GameSpot stage. We are welcoming very special guest. Mr. Jake Baldino is going to be streaming with us. And also, don't forget, Jared Petty also is going to be on the co-op stage. He will be there Thursday, June 14th at 12:40 p.m. Pacific time. So,
I believe he's the one that rolls into us. So yeah, there you go. We haven't announced our lineup, but we're doing, I've been booking. We have a lot of great guests you want to catch, but think of it as just one big podcast. For now, though, let me tell you, we're brought to you by Omaha Steaks. I'll tell you about that later. And for now, let's get into the Roper Report. What is and always will be and all that jazz. Cool, Greg, hit me with the jingle. Time for some news. 6 items on the Roper Report.
A baker's dozen.
It's the big one, Andrea. As usual,
I know.
gods have come to line the planets up so you'd be here. Destiny 2 Forsaken has been announced. It's from Bungie and High Moon. It's the first major expansion. It's coming September 4th, 2018. The PC version of the expansion will be available exclusively on battle.net. I'm now going to read straight from the press release, Andrea. I'm going to give them all the information, and then I'm going to lay back for 30 minutes, and you're just going to fucking tell everybody what you think of this. Okay. With 2 brand new destinations to explore and new weapons, armor, and supers to acquire, Forsaken takes players on an epic journey into the wild frontiers of our solar system, where the lines between justice and revenge are blurred. Forsaken also features an all-new competitive and collaborative endgame activity called Gambit. A first of its kind for Destiny, Gambit is a new hybrid 4v4 mode that merges both PvE and PvP experiences into an epic battle. This entirely new way to play Destiny 2 offers something for all types of gamers to enjoy, appealing to those who thrive on the competitive challenge of PvP gameplay while seamlessly blending the collaborative and unpredictable elements of PvE. This new mode will be playable at the 2018 Electronics Entertainment Expo, E3, for you experts, held from June, it's E3. Following years of strife, what remains of the Reef has fallen into lawlessness. Players investigate the recent unrest and will explore new regions, awaken new powers, and earn powerful weapons. Building on the most requested desire for a deep and rewarding endgame experience, Destiny 2 Forsaken features the Dreaming City destination, full of secrets to discover and bosses to defeat. This destination also houses the brand new raid and is the first space designed from the ground up to support endgame content. Available to all Destiny 2 players around Forsaken's launch comes highly anticipated challenges and features such as a new weapon slot system, random rolls, improvements to the mod system, and numerous other quality of life improvements. Destiny 2 Forsaken is going to be $39.99. Destiny 2 Forsaken plus the annual pass bundle will be $69.99. Destiny 2 Forsaken Digital Deluxe Edition featuring premium digital content will be $79.99. At launch, PlayStation gamers will get access to the following timed exclusive content: a strike, 1 gear set per class, a new ship, and an exotic weapon. At Destiny 2 Forsaken's launch, the previously released Destiny 2 launched timed exclusives will be made available for all platforms. A mouthful, a lot. The video is 9 minutes. I went and watched that too to do that. But Sean gets to the heart of it over at kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "Hi, Andrea. How do you feel about Destiny 2 Forsaken?"
I feel good.
Yeah?
Yeah. So overall, I came away from the stream this morning excited. I've been getting back into Destiny, playing a lot of the Warmind content with the What's Good Guardians, and it's reminded me what I love so much about Destiny 2 and Destiny. They came out swinging this morning in that video before Deej got into the live stream kind of Q&A with some of the development team and kind of addressed head on some of the things that people like me who have been playing for a long time really have wanted to see.
Sure.
However...
Oh, here we go.
As excited as I am and definitely looking forward to playing, it still kind of feels like this content is what Destiny 2 should have been at launch last year. That being said, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't want to continue to be upset about it. I want to be excited about this again, and so I'm going to embrace my excitement for it.
So you are excited?
Yes.
Everything they said sounded good.
Yes.
When they were walking through the video and the guy's like, you can have 3 shotguns in one thing. You know, it's cool.
I think that that's going to be a really dumb way to play. But if you want to play that way, you go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like.
Okay.
I like that they're instituting more player choice instead of artificial constraints.
Obviously, as you know, as a Destiny novice, right? Somebody who platinum Destiny 2, but you know, bounced out afterwards and didn't, you know, the things that so many hardcore Destiny players didn't want. Going through this, when they were like, you can play like Destiny 1, you can play it like Destiny 2, or you can do the 3 shotgun thing. I was like, I don't even know what the difference between playing it like Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is, but all right, good for you. I'm glad you're giving it to them.
Basically, the way that they locked certain types of weapons to each class. So in Destiny 2, you've got your kinetic weapons, your energy weapons, and your power weapons. And in Destiny, you could have, for example, shotguns are in power weapons in Destiny 2, but they were in the second slot, which was called something else. I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but your secondary was something else. And so like they kind of changed up where weapons are, which is why I don't use sniper rifles anymore. And I really loved using them in Destiny's because they're locked to power weapons now, and so I'm like all rocket launchers all the time.
Yeah.
And so I like that they're going to give more flexibility in letting players choose their play style, because that's what an end game really should be, right? You've been playing the game for hundreds and hundreds of hours at this point. You know what guns you like. You know what kind of play style you have for each of your different classes of your characters. Let people pick what they want. I like that. I think that that's a good step in the right direction. I think opening up the vault is a good step in the right direction. Being able to bulk delete shaders is like a quality of life thing, you know, that we've been asking for. Is it coming a little bit too late? Yes, but at least it's on its way. You know, so I can be glad about that. Obviously, there was a lot of people this morning who were watching the stream and who are now commenting who are very upset about the money, right? So cash grab was being thrown around in the Twitch chat a lot, money grabbing.
Andrew G writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, Andrea, how do you feel about the price for Forsaken in the annual pass? Does $70 seem too steep, or is this just me? I'm buying it regardless, so Bungie knows what they're doing.
I mean, you know, we are in the same boat, Andrea. Like, I'm definitely going to buy this as well. People who are into Destiny and who spend a lot of time in it have no trouble paying, because if you think about it, there's a lot of games that have done subscription models before. Oh, sure. This isn't something new. I don't know why people are getting so upset about it.
Because Sean, his question went on to be, how do you feel, Andrea, about the Forsaken requiring both previous expansions to play? Seems kind of funny that it is now a requirement when you never needed COO and to play Warmind. So basically, it's to get into Forsaken, you're going to have to already have the 2 expansions that have come before.
Right. Now, I understand why it seems a little odd, and I think that they should have some more consistency. I agree. But if you're playing right now, I mean, I don't see a world in which you could potentially jump into Forsaken without having played the previous 2, because you'd just be really far behind everybody else who's in the community.
Gotcha.
Not that it's not possible, but like, wouldn't you want to? And like, all of the people who are playing Destiny have bought these expansions already. Yeah. So it doesn't seem to me like it's so far off base for them to require that for this giant expansion coming in the fall.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It just sounds
to me.
weird on paper, right? Is it one of those things where people on the outside are looking in and being like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. That seems awkward. But if you're invested, if you're there, you would have been doing this, right?
I think, what a lot of the problems that we've talked about with this in the past is that Bungie has tried to kind of maintain content for people who bought the base game while also trying to appease people who are playing the end game content. And you just can't do that long term with the games as a service, where you're either going to make everything free and then just charge for cosmetic stuff to keep your player base together, which we've seen in some other games. Sure. Battlefront is moving to that. Yeah. Or you're going to charge people along the way and keep the community and keep developing content for the people who are reinvesting in your game, or people who are committing their time to your game. And I think that that's what Bungie has decided to do, and I think that's the right call. I think if you're playing Destiny, you've bought all this stuff already. It's people who haven't invested in Destiny that are now complaining about having to invest in Destiny, and it's kind of like a head scratcher for me being like, well, if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Yeah. Like, if you're not into it, if you don't think that it's worth it's a value to you, if you don't think that this bullet point list of all of the things coming down the pipeline or through summer 2019 or whatever is worth your money, then don't spend it. That's totally okay. You don't have to.
Okay. Andrew S. writes into kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, "What's good, KFGD crew?" Andrea, with the announcement of Destiny 2 Forsaken, I'll keep it simple. What has you most excited about the September release? What are you most bummed about? And finally, what is your biggest wait and see about what Bungie announced? Much love from Ohio, Andrew S.
I'm definitely excited about the new supers. Any kind of new gameplay. I'm excited that they finally have a new enemy.
Sure. Yeah, that was another thing I saw getting kicked around, right? I'm like, oh, good. It's not just the same old guys we've seen forever.
I have to say, I am really jazzed about this new mode. It looks completely up my alley. So this kind of gambit, this hybrid of PvE and PvP is something that is super exciting. I really loved Prison of Elders and House of Wolves, which was, kind of like a wave-based horde style mode, but there was no PvP element to that. And so kind of meshing what Prison of Elders was, but also making it competitive and kind of bringing in this mechanic that we saw in Vault of Glass with being able to teleport into like this other realm to go in and have another combat encounter with an opposing team. Like that sounds really cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Like I'm pumped for that. That sounds like I want to play it. And I wasn't going to see Destiny at E3 because my schedule is overbooked. Yeah. And I told Activision, I was like, you guys know I love Destiny. I probably shouldn't take time out of my day to come see a game that I already know I love. Yeah. But now that they said that they're bringing it, I'm like, oh god.
Just canceling everything. Sorry, Team 17 can't see you anymore. Final question on this front, Andrea, comes from a man's 91. Long time, first time. What do you think of the constant barrage of negative comments Bungie receives whenever they talk about Destiny on Twitter or Facebook? Do you feel it's unwarranted? I, for one, am completely sick of it. It ruins my excitement for anything they post about, especially when I click on a tweet from them only to see replies of shit game or this DLC should be free. Honestly, makes me want to unfollow them on Twitter because of it. Thanks for the great show. See you on the Leviathan, Andrea.
I agree that it is exhausting, but as somebody who has publicly ranted about Destiny in the past, I think that people need to get their frustrations out and need to voice their frustrations, but I think that period of time is going to have to come to a close eventually.
Yeah.
Because, you can only complain so much. I mean, like everything that I had been complaining about when Destiny 2 launched, they're addressing for the most part.
Yeah.
The only thing left, I think, here is like if they're going to go to this annual pass subscription model type format, then they really need to scale back what they're charging for in-game cosmetics and really up your ability
return
to earn them,
right? Yeah.
to earn them in game. I think that balance needs to be sorted out. Like I have no problem paying for seasonal content, but then don't make me have to spend tens of dollars for a single piece of cosmetic gear.
Sure.
That's just my one, like, hey, I don't mind, but can we work out the balancing? But I agree, like it does get exhausting,
sure.
And that's why I've kind of told myself, like, I kind of had to gut check myself when I was watching the stream this morning to be like, what are you upset about? Is it fair to be upset about that?
Yeah.
Do you really need to be upset about this? And can you just focus on what you love about the game instead?
Yeah.
And like that sometimes is a hard thing that's a hard conversation to have with yourself and with the friends that you have, because it's easy to jump on a bandwagon of, oh, this sucks and oh, I'm mad and oh, this is shit. But like, sometimes you just gotta say, you know what? It's okay to let it go.
Yeah. And I would say, Amons, it's something we all learn, right? But just don't look at the comments. Don't worry about that. That's a vocal minority of people saying that. Plenty of people play Destiny just like yourself and love it and don't, worry about it.
Yeah, and the thing I remind myself is like we as fans are allowed to voice criticism. That's
sure.
Always, right? Like,
but shit game isn't criticism.
I mean, shit game, exactly. And saying like this DLC should be free.
Okay.
Like,
that's an opinion. You know what I mean?
I would like to hear the argument as to why that DLC should be free, because technically no additional content needs to be free. It's just a really great added bonus when developers make it free. But I like that High Moon is coming in. Yeah. I'm really interested to see what they're bringing to the table here and how they're going to work with Bungie. Obviously, they've done a lot of work with Activision over the years. So yeah, I'm ready. I just wish it was sooner, because September, like, You know?
I know.
There's
Wish I could get excited for it, but I'll be swinging through the streets in New York at that time.
Tomb Raider and Spider-Man are both
No,
in September.
there's another one coming up that for a release date that got announced in I saw it in my inbox and I saw it again on GameSpot, and GameSpot's thing was like, it's another September game, and if you're not paying attention, it's Spider-Man and it's this Destiny thing now, and it's Tomb Raider and it's this game and it's like 3 other. I was like, damn,
Busy
September's
month.
insane. Everybody's trying to get out before Red Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 on the Roper Report is Microsoft buying the Forza developers. Shabana Arif over at IGN writes, it looks like Microsoft could be acquiring Playground Games, the studio behind the Forza Horizon series. As spotted by WCCF Tech, an update to the studio's company's house page dated May 29th lists Keith Dolver as the new director of Playground Games. Company's House is a UK government website that holds details for all registered companies in the country. Dolliver, vice president and deputy general counsel at Microsoft Corporation, specializes in mergers and acquisitions according to his LinkedIn profile. He has previously been appointed the director of a number of other companies that Microsoft acquired, including Rare, Lionhead, and Skype. With a that's a siren on our end, don't panic. With a renewed focus on investing in studios to make more first-party games and rumors of a new Fable game reportedly in development at Playground, the acquisition would make sense for Microsoft right now. Playground's Forza titles are exclusive to Xbox and PC, and the Fable series has always been a Microsoft exclusive. Something to put in the back of your head as we head in there and we all predict what's going to happen at E3, as we have the Phil Spencer quotes of like, we're paying attention, we know first party and exclusives matter, we're going to work on that. Seems like this is probably happening. Go get a Microsoft.
One little aside while we're talking about studios being acquired.
Sure.
There was some news that broke this morning from Paradox Interactive. They tweeted, so we've got some big news for you. Paradox Interactive to acquire Seattle-based Harebrained Schemes.
Okay.
Welcome to the family.
Okay, all right. Everybody's making their purchases. Everybody's lining up their ducks.
Exactly.
Speaking of lining up your ducks and things leaking, number 3 is Hitman 2 happening? Because it looks like it is. Eddie at GameSpot rounds it all up and says, there are now a few reasons to believe a new Hitman game may be on the way. The official Hitman account sent out a cryptic tweet today, that was yesterday, that points to some kind of reveal on June 7th, which is the same day that publisher Warner Brothers is holding a pre-E3 2018 reveal event. A tweet from the WB Games account shows a race car with the brand Hamsun on it. That could be reference to the fictitious oil company referenced in Hitman Season 1. A more direct indication that Hitman 2 is coming, that a logo for Hitman 2 was found on WB's official site. So yeah. So there you go. Looks like that weird racing thing that went up from WB Games is somehow related to Hitman, and we'll know more on June 7th. No shock there, but good for IO Interactive. Get out there and keep making it. I'm glad that all worked out for them. You know
I'm ready to see more.
Yeah. Did you like Hitman?
I did.
One?
Yeah, I didn't play all of the episodes, but what I did play, I really liked. I think I stopped because it was just so hard. And it was just, I'm just bad at being sneaky is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So I would do something wrong and then they would be on to me and then I would have to try to fight my way out, and Hitman's just ruins it, Hitman's not that game.
Yeah, I played enough. I did the demos here and there and like preview sessions. I always enjoyed it, but it was never for me. I know Nick loved it a lot, and I know obviously like Giant Bomb was obsessed with it, and Hitman obviously one that's all over the place, and I know the team on it's so good, so I hope it's true. Sorry it leaked, like everything else this E3. Number 4. Is there a new Diablo in development? Of course there is, but we'll act like we don't think there is. Chris Pereira over at GameSpot writes, an unannounced Diablo project or some sort. I'm sorry, an unannounced Diablo project of some sort is officially in development, Blizzard has revealed. A job listing on the company's website confirms as much, although, this being a job posting and not a proper announcement, there aren't any real details about what to expect. The job opening is for a dungeon artist on the Diablo franchise, but the game is listed as an unannounced project. The description makes it clear up front that the position will be working on something new, quote, the minions of hell are growing stronger, we're working on a new unannounced Diablo project, end quote. Good, I love Diablo. The whole Reaper of Souls edition and Diablo 3, that was great. I played it on PC, Andrea.
Diablo on Switch? Is that going to happen in Nintendo's Direct? Remember that big fiasco when they tweeted
the light switch and all that shit? I still think it should. I still think it probably... I think it will. It has to. I don't think it'll be this... I don't know if it'll be E3. I don't think it will be. I think, they seem... everything else is leaked for Nintendo. It seems like they've got a full plate already of things to announce and go for. So why would you do that then? But then it is like... Okay, if we're not announcing that here, then how long... What are the legs on Diablo 3? A great game, but how many people would it touch that are the new audience on Switch? Maybe the new Diablo is a Switch project. Maybe it has some exclusive levels or something to that effect. I don't know. Reaper of Souls was so good though.
This is an interesting. These are interesting questions you're asking.
At this point, I mean, like if you were just waiting for the new Diablo 4 to just come to everything. Well, I mean, no, it'll come to PC first and then limp out to everything else later, and it was sucking to be mad.
Sounds right.
But the console version would be superior, just like Diablo 3. I said it, everybody. We didn't have that weird error that screwed everything up for everything. Number 5. This is a quick one. The last 2 are quick ones. Number 5, Limited Run Games is doing an E3 press conference, apparently. They tweeted out, catch the Limited Run Games E3 press conference when it airs live on Monday, June 11th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/Limited Run Games. I doubt we'll do a stream for that. Not because we don't love Limited Run Games. They're awesome. They always want to work together and do more stuff together. We just never have time to. But just like Devolver, I'd rather just watch that and be chill with it. Because, all right, it's another cool indie game. Awesome. Like, I don't know. What do I need to talk about? And then number 6, LeBron James is the cover of NBA 2K19, if you were excited for that, as that game continues to go on and sell a gajillion copies. Andrea?
Yes, Greg.
It's hard to believe it was our last show together for the week. For the 2 weeks, I guess, honestly. It's because E3's coming around.
Yeah, it won't be back until after E3.
Luckily, I'm sure I'll see you at E3 nonstop.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah, of course. I want to miss you, but it's so far away when our reunion will be. If I wanted to know what came to the digital mom and grop shops today, where would I go?
Nice, Greg way. You would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kinda Funny Games Daily show host each and every weekday.
Yeah. All right, it's the Tuesday. Strap in, pack a lunch. We got a lot to get through here.
Pack a lunch.
Origami Shadow Edition comes to Xbox One. Awkward comes to Xbox One. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle PlayStation 4 and PC. Happy Birthdays on the Switch. Onrush comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One. Perils of Baking comes to PlayStation 4. Kevin Coelho, please take the mic over here. Kevin Coelho came over, of course. We played a way out over the weekend. I platinumed it. Kevin didn't want to platinum it. You were telling me...
I wouldn't waste my first platinum like that, Greg.
I'm just saying.
I feel like that should matter to
Did you guys not have this exact same conversation yesterday?
Hey, man,
I
when you have
think
good
had
content,
this exact
when you have
same
good
conversation.
content, and not
It's
everybody
not good for
watches
you.
the show every day. Anyways, though, you told me then, Kevin, to be on the lookout for Perils of Baking on PlayStation 4 because...
Made by a best friend.
And his name?
Oof.
Yeah, you don't remember.
Me.
You don't remember the name.
Oh my
Hit me up
gosh,
on
really?
Instagram.
We know a best friend worked on Perils of Baking.
Don't get me all really. There's like a lot of people hit me up on Instagram, open DMs. You know how it is.
Yeah. Kevin's very popular, Andrea.
Yeah.
All right, it's very hard to.
I actually looked back like 15 and like couldn't find him.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Perils
a lot
of
of work.
Baking is a 2D platformer akin to the retro games that it inspired. It is made, includes, has remote play for your Vita.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all
Over 40
with the
main
power of the
levels in the
PlayStation
game.
4,
You will
all games have
master
remote
driving
play.
a minecart, flying a balloon, swimming, baking, reverse gravity, and more.
There you go.
Reverse gravity.
You'll master it. You're going to master
copyright Lily Mo Games.
it. Lily Mo.
Lily Mo.
Lily Mo. All right, back to the list. No Bungas. Ambition. Taishi. Now available on PlayStation 4 and PC via Steam. Riddled Corpses EX comes to PlayStation 4, PS Vita, Vita lives. Roller Coaster Legends 2, Thor's Hammer comes to PlayStation 4. Rock Shot is on PC. Shape of the World is on PlayStation 4 and PC. Shaq Fu, A Legend Reborn is on PlayStation 4 and PC. Remember, Andy interviewed Shaquille O'Neal. That's on not the Gamescast with the predictions, but the Gamescast before that. The Elder Scrolls Online Somerset comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. Vampyr comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And let's get into some questions about that. Michelle writes into kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, "What's good, KFGD crew? I've been eyeing that new Vampyr game that dropped today and wanted to know your thoughts after playing it. Thanks for all you do." Friday, I was with you. I was talking to you. I wanted to play stuff. I didn't know what I wanted to play. Jen's out of town. What am I gonna waste my time with? I had the Vampyr game. Put the Vampyr game in Sunday before Kevin came over for a way out. Played hour and a half of it or whatever. All the reviews popped today, and so far I saw IGN and GameSpot's review, and I'm perfectly in line with them. They gave it a 7 and called it good. The story's really interesting of what's going on. Very similar to what Tim was when we came back from Kingdom Hearts, and Tim was tweeted that, wow, this is like playing a PlayStation 2 game on a PlayStation 4. That's exactly what Vampyr is too. If you've been wondering, man, where are all the mid-tier games? It's all indies or it's all AAAs. Where's that mid-section? This is a mid-section game where, oh man, there's some interesting ideas here, and I like where the story's going. The combat is not fun. It's clunky. It doesn't look great, but doesn't look bad. It's just right there at a 7, which is like, okay, cool. If that strikes you, if you're a big vampire person, if you want that kind of story, awesome. But is it enough to keep you playing? Zach writes in my thoughts and says, well, he wrote it in the thing, but he's in line with my thoughts, I'm saying. And Zach says, why aren't good games considered good anymore? IGN gave Vampyr a 7, and that's considered good by IGN. Since then, I've seen plenty of people say they'll skip it due to it not being a great AA game or a good AAA game. Do we live in an era where games can't just be good? Do games have to be a 9 or a 10 to be considered good? And is that hurtful to the industry as a whole? Love everything you guys do. Hope you have a marvelous day. Do we live in an era where games can't be just good? Yes, we do.
Yes, absolutely we do.
There are far too many games pulling you at every direction that are amazing, that are just like my pile of shame of things I haven't played through. So yeah, I can say I'm not trying to dissuade you from playing Vampyr. I'm not going to play more Vampyr probably. I love Don't Nod. I love Life is Strange. I'm not that into this story, and I definitely don't like the combat and the overall technical stuff of it. I don't think it's bad. But no, I'm not going to sit there and play a game that I'm not that into just to play it when there are all these other... I mean, even if I just wanted to play more Fortnite, which me and Andy and Kevin streamed last night, like, that was fun. That's great. I want to get better at Fortnite. Me playing Vampyr takes me away from that, let alone Vampyr taking me away from all these other games that not even take review scores out of it, that are just better games in terms of an overall package. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. I was going to say the same thing. It's just there's too much choice available now across so many different devices that... Sometimes I'll go to preview events or I'll go to a big trade show and I'll go to some of these demos and the thought crosses my mind, who greenlit this idea? Why are you making it? And what is your ultimate goal? Yeah. Because sometimes developers will show a game that's too early, that's not fully realized, that isn't quite, cooked.
Yeah.
So these questions come across because I'm like, man, you're going to get slaughtered at release if this is the concept that you're going forward with. And I don't think that to try to discourage them. And I definitely don't have these conversations because, I don't ever want to come out and just attack someone's creative work because as somebody who's had my creative work attacked, that sucks. And also I don't know the backstory behind a lot of this. And so, or a lot of the development process and how and where that particular team was from the genesis of their idea to where they're showing it to me in that particular moment. But the problem is that I think somewhere along the way with some of these smaller teams, and again, this has nothing to do, I have not played Vampyr. I don't know anything about that game. This is just me speaking generally, that sometimes there needs to be more people willing to say, hey, we need to make some hard decisions about what we're doing and why, instead of saying, oh, this is cool, let's just go for it, even if we're not fully confident in the idea. Now, I don't know how that happens, but if you look at the broad spectrum of games, like you and I, Greg, get so many press releases in our inboxes.
We get so many games in our inbox.
For games that I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know where they came from. I don't know what the studio is. What is this game? Who is playing this game?
Yeah.
And those are all questions that that most of the time I don't know if I care to get answers to. Sure. And that kind of sucks because I think that everyone deserves their time to shine.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of not good games out there. And that's what makes us kind of gun shy about taking a chance on a game or a developer or a studio that we've never heard of or has never done anything before.
Sure.
So in this era of games being considered good, I don't think there's space for good anymore.
And that's the thing is I always talk about the mid-tier falling away, and I don't mean it that the industry squeezed them out or whatever. It just means the fact that the indies and AAAs are killing it in such an interesting way that you can't come out and not have something awesome in that mid-tier range. That's like a AA game. And when I say AA, right, I'm thinking of like a Hellblade. Like that was just like, what the fuck? Everyone has to play this and have it. This is something different and awesome, and it's making waves and it's changing it. Now, Zach asked, basically, is there no room for good games anymore? Is that hurtful to the industry as a whole?
I mean,
well, it depends. I would say no, because I feel like what we're leaving out of this conversation, of course, is something that means a lot to Kind of Funny and What's Good, and that's scope and expectation and return on investment and all that jazz. Like, Focus, I think, is it? That put? Can you check for me? Who put out Vampyr? It's Don't Nod, obviously, but the publisher.
The publisher, I believe, is Focus Home.
It
right?
is Focus, right? what were their expectations on this title? Did they know they were putting out a game that had these flaws or this, that, and blah, blah, but is going to find an audience? Like, there's an audience I know of people who fucking love vampires and love gothic settings and are all in and don't care that I thought the combat was like clunky and not that interesting, right? Like, I thought it was actually, when I played it, I was like, oh man, I see where you're going for this. It's not clicking for me. I wonder if you're gonna get eaten alive in reviews. Are you gonna get destroyed in reviews? So for them to come away with 7s of people being like, hey, like, there's problems with, even Kotaku was like, hey, there's problems with it, but the RPG part of it's really interesting and the story's really interesting. Like, it shines through the good parts of it to get you there.
Right.
But like, in the same way that when we put up a video, like, we'd love for it to hit 1 million views. I'm talking about the Gamescast, right? It's fucking awesome that the Gamescast predictions has done more than 50,000 views in the first day. That's rad, but like, we don't expect that, and we set expectations and our, how you sell stuff and what happens with the audio version, which is way more popular. All our shows are so much more popular as podcasts, but like, we have our expectations set on what happens, so we're pleasantly surprised when it goes. But that doesn't mean that like now we're like, guess what? Every Gamescast is going to do 50,000, right? Like, that's how the publisher and the developer relationship works. And so, if Focus, and long-winded answer here, what I'm getting to, if Focus or whoever is publishing a game that is for a fragmented niche audience, if they understand this is what the success is, that's how much money you're going to invest in, fine. Then it's not hurtful to the business. It's more hurtful, I would say, for a THQ or not old THQ, not THQ Nordic, even though I think they're making a lot of the same mistakes. But for whoever wants to publish a AA game and expect it's going to be, it's going to sell as many copies as Hellblade.
Yeah, this is a tough question to answer because I don't think it's as black and white as yes, it's hurtful or no, it's not hurtful. Because I think that there's space for all types of games out there, just like there's space for all types of digital video content, all kinds of movies, et cetera, whatever kind of entertainment medium, you're working with. And I think that it's important for creators to have a place where they can create. I think what's tough about games versus music, for example, is that the process of making a game seems to me to be like the publication process is more involved than like just putting a track that you've made on SoundCloud, right? And like the discoverability of trying to get people to find your game and then play and buy your game seems to be a much harder road to travel and down than, just uploading a video to YouTube and hoping that somebody watches it.
Yeah, you figure for YouTube, right, there's no risk. I can pop in and it's, so many people be like, oh man, this podcast is 2 hours long, I'm out. But other people pop in, it's like, am I interested? It's free. Okay, I'm not. I am, whatever. And you go from there. Whereas with a game, it is. It's like, all right, cool. I'm handing over my money that I can't get back for the most part. But I'm going to hand it over to this thing to play this game, and it's going to be X amount of time. Like, that's what's going through my mind, right? When I was playing Vampyr, it was nice to have Kevin coming over because I was like, all right, cool. You have an hour or whatever it was, hour and a half to, like, make me care and make me want to come back to the game. And when I finished it, when Kevin got there, when I, put down the controller and he picked it up to try it around for a little bit, it was like, cool, I see what you're doing, but it's not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what's great about the industry. On one hand, I can say my opinions about like, I don't understand why this game exists. And then someone who comes up and plays the game 10 minutes later can be like, this is the best thing I've ever played.
Exactly.
It's all subjective.
Art.
Exactly.
Back to the list. Warhammer 4000 Inquisitor Martyr comes to Xbox One. Philip over at IGN reports the new Nintendo eShop now has a featured section that displays 30 of the most popular new and upcoming releases. The deals section has been changed to great deals, and the bestseller section now has an option to switch between all games and download-only games. Meanwhile, PlayStation Now added a bunch of games, including but not limited to Firefighters, The Simulation, Kinetica, and Wild Arms 3. Elder Scrolls Online massive new Somerset Chapter is now available on Xbox One, PS4. Did I already talk about that one? Felt like that feels. We've been in this segment so long now, I feel like I'm repeating time. Somerset Chapter is now available on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, PC, and Mac. Nick Scarpino, who lost the Kinda Funny World Championship in party mode on Friday, you can go watch another very successful video. It's doing way better than we thought it would. Thank you so much. It's very good.
There's
the IGN tournament.
Asterisk by that on Reddit now.
No,
I've asked
no,
people to make the official,
no asterisk.
the
You
official
lost
record
it.
of the
You lost
championship
it.
belts has been passed down. There's an asterisk by it. Sorry, number 61.
Commissioner sanctioned it. Far Cry 5 Hours of Darkness DLC is out. And then Gunheart. Andrea writes, out yesterday, question mark? I guess we missed this one. Drifter Entertainment, an independent video game publisher and developer comprised of industry veterans known for franchises including Doom, Quake, and Gears of War, announced a fast-paced, futuristic, online co-op RPG shooter that first released on Steam Early Access in July 2017 is now available. Meanwhile, new dates. Code Vein is coming out September 28th on PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One. And then Insurgency Sandstorm will officially launch on Windows PC in September 2018. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have been pushed to 2019. Warhammer 4000 Inquisitor, Insurgency Sandstorm. There's Firefighter Simulations. I'm caught in the Matrix right now, you know? It all sounds very... There it was. I did have Elder Scrolls over here already.
Matrix.
Okay, I'm just drifted. I'm a drifted sea. No deals of the day, so instead we'll jump straight to Reader Mail.
Wait, there is a deal of the day. I sent it to you yesterday.
You did. That's true.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
I just don't have time in the morning anymore. I've noticed to go through my inbox. It's very cumbersome and upsetting to me.
Right. Okay, let's see here.
Andrews, keep me honest. You can
Here it is. So this is from Xbox over on the Xbox Wire. They have announced a bunch of price cuts for their consoles. So starting Thursday, June 7th, there will be discounts on hundreds of games, accessories, Xbox Game Pass, live gold subscriptions, plus $50 off any Xbox One. So that's $199 for a 500 gigabyte Xbox One S, $249 for a 1 terabyte Xbox One S, $449 for Xbox One X, the first time the X has ever been discounted, plus up to 75% off selected games, including first-time discounts on newly released titles such as Monster Hunter World, Sea of Thieves, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and 1 month of Xbox Live Gold or Game Pass for just $1.
Dang.
So if you want to try out Xbox Game Pass, you can try State of Decay or Sea of Thieves or anything else in the library. $1 on sale starting Thursday, plus $10 off controllers.
Good deal.
That's a lot of deals.
Time for Reader Mail. This one's brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Remember, Father's Day is right around the corner, and dads love meat. My dad loves meat so much. Remember, you're going to forget Father's Day. I'm just going to lay it on the line right now, right? You know it's coming up. What day is it? You don't even know. I said it right there. You don't know what day it is. You need to just do this, because what's going to happen is 4 days removed, you're going to be like, oh, crap, it's Father's Day. I can't do the Omaha Steaks thing. I waited too long, so just do this. Of course, I love Omaha Steaks. We ate them on Memorial Day. My dad likes them so much that once I send them to him once, he sends it to us all the time. You've heard all this before. They send you hand-trimmed, flash frozen, and vacuum-sealed meats directly to your door in an Omaha Steaks cooler. They got pork, poultry, veal, lamb, bison, seafood, and more. Right now, Omaha Steaks is giving a limited time offer to my listeners for Father's Day. At 78% off, this is an amazing deal. Go to omahasteaks.com, type in KF Games in the search bar, and you can get the following Father's Day package. It includes 2 filet mignons, 2 top sirloins, 4 chicken fried steaks, 2 boneless pork chops, 4 all beef Omaha steak burgers, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 12 ounces of all beef meatballs, 1 pound of steakhouse fries, 4 caramel apple tartlets, 1 Omaha steak seasoning packet, and 4 more grill ready Omaha burgers free with purchase. Again, this is a limited time package for only $49.99 when you go to omahasteaks.com, type KF Games in the search bar, and add Father's Day package to your cart. Don't wait. This offer ends soon. Go to omahasteaks.com. Type KF Games in the search bar. Save your dad's Father's Day.
I'm trying to see if you were to buy it today.
Do it.
What day it would get there.
I'm sure you can get it. There are all sorts of crazy days.
I'm looking right now. So if you were to buy it today, Tuesday, June 5th, you could get shipping, standard shipping, Saturday, June 9th.
Okay. When is Father's Day?
Father's Day
I don't know.
is Sunday, June 17th.
Okay, so it's coming up quick, everybody. Don't let E3 distract
So
you
you've got
from your
about
father.
a week.
And as I've said before, remember, they don't check to see if you're really sending it to your father. You could just get the cheap meat for yourself.
Or, for your husband's birthday.
Huh. Sounds interesting. It's a good one. Wonder if you did that. Kariodude writes in to kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, yesterday you guessed about what PlayStation VR game would be announced Saturday at PlayStation. Fallout 4 and Beat Saber were your top 2 picks, but I think it's something else. Something Greg has been asking for since before PlayStation VR even released. It's time to announce No Man's Sky for PlayStation VR. All right. I don't think that's what it is, but all right. I like where your head's at.
Okay.
You were listening to the episode yesterday. We ran through all our predictions. What are you thinking for their new? They're going to announce Saturday. They said it's a highly anticipated game is going to come to PlayStation VR or something.
I have no idea, Greg.
Oh, I hate you. Look at that smile. She knows everything. Busy slating the business. I don't like this one. I don't like this question anymore. Sorry. I put it on there thinking I might like it by the time I got here. It just didn't grow on me. It didn't happen. It didn't happen over here. So instead we're going to go to Kin. Kin writes in. to kindafunny.com/KFGD and says, I'm going to host an E3 event next week. And when he says this, he means he's going to host something on camera, I believe. Congratulations, Kin. Round of applause for you right there. Thank you, Cool Greg. I want to know how you can balance being a games journalist, content creator, and a gaming fan on these events. Careful not to overstep your boundaries. Both excited and nervous for next week. Thank you for being inspiration to the industry. How do you do it, Andrea? How do we do this? When somebody's doing their first event, how do they balance everything? Keep their head straight. What I feel I don't have enough information about is what Kin's role is in all this. Because I feel like if you're an online personality like us, then you're allowed to just be yourself. But you have to understand that whatever yourself is what you're then represented as for the rest of eternity. That becomes your brand. That becomes who you are. Yeah,
I think, being respectful of everybody and being kind to everybody is a no-brainer, of course. But there's nothing wrong with expressing your appreciation for somebody else's work. It's just all about how you do it. So, for example, when I met Charles Martinet for the first time, the man behind the voice of Mario, I was able to say to him, to do my interview with him first. And then after the interview was over, then I could say, I've been a longtime fan. I think your work is fantastic. Thank you so much for everything that you've done.
Right.
It's important if you're going to have that moment of being a fan that you do it after your professional work is done, and to maintain as much professionalism as you can ahead of it. Because if you fangirl or fanboy out before, then it gets weird for the person who you're talking with.
I don't think it was until my fourth time interviewing Kojima where I was finally like, hey, by the way, Peace Walker is my favorite game of all time. I'm going to give you this painting. I'm going to do it, you know what I mean? And talk about Metal Gear Solid. And I think by that point, personality-wise, he knew enough that I really liked Metal Gear and I was a big fan, but I didn't that's not how I conducted my interviews or how I talked to him when for first impressions and things like that. I wanted to establish a relationship and a camaraderie, I guess, before you go in there. By the way, I was all the same way.
Absolutely. And another important thing about an industry event like E3 is that when you're meeting so many people, potentially for the first time, people who are, in the industry or established in the industry, you don't want to overstay your welcome because everybody is so busy at this show. So by all means, if you see somebody that you would like to say hi to, go and say hi to them. Introduce yourself. Say, this is how I know you. It's so nice to meet you. But then also make that interaction brief. Yeah, you're gonna go do it off to the next thing, mingle with the next thing. Yeah, because they're going somewhere, you're going somewhere. Exactly. The big thing I always say is if, a lot of people come up and I'll give you my card or whatever. Take cards, don't give cards. Well, no, give cards. Never ask for cards. That's a faux pas. You don't ask people for cards. You give me cards. I get inundated with cards. They come back and they sit around until I'm like, I never used any of these garbage. You know what, though? But that's the appropriate way to do that. Well, guess what? It's 2018, everybody. Asking people for cards is asking them for their personal information. Sure. But I'm not saying a fan. I'm saying, hey, people who are like, I want to write for IGN. I'm like, well, go to this thing, whatever, do your own thing, write, whatever, and then try to, when you get introduced to Justin Davis, be like, oh, your features. I want to do that. It's also, you make a good point that it's important to be selective with how you offer your information. Yes. But I still stand by, you shouldn't ask people for their business card. You should always offer yours if you actually plan to follow up or really want a follow up. There are many times where people give me business cards where sometimes I'll turn them down. I'll be like, don't waste your card on me. Yeah. I know how to find you, or I already have your contact info. I don't need your email. You and I were emailing yesterday. Yeah. Right? So there will be things like that. People get hung up on passing them out so much that I feel like they just become, that was our thing when we started Kinda Funny. We were very much like, no cards. And it was just we're not like we're trying to be fucking Madonna about it or whatever, but it's if you can't remember that I'm Greg from Kinda Funny and how to find me, then this wasn't going to work out to begin with. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a very privileged position to take. Though, I know, but I'm saying but then I see the other extreme of it. Yeah. Of people who have the cards, they're at their first E3 or GDC, and it's just there's a balance for sure, but as somebody who did a lot of freelance work and contracting work and had to move from outlet to outlet in my early years of my career, I wasn't at IGN.com. Yeah. It's important to have cards to be able to give to people, because I've had people come up to me and say, hey, I do freelance work, I do editing, I do graphics or whatever. If you ever need somebody, here's my card. And I keep all of those cards, right? And so it's important for people to have business cards if they aren't Greg Miller from Kinda Funny. I'm just saying,
I would. I mean, you know better than me.
Don't
you
give
work the
kid bad advice.
I'm just saying what I would appreciate from you. You know what I mean? It would be the thing like, how can I?
Greg doesn't want your business
how
card.
can I hit
Nobody
you up?
give
I
a
want to work
business
with
card
you.
to
I'll
Greg
give you
Miller.
my email, and then you hit me up with your clips eventually.
E3,
If you give me a fucking
you
business
just wave
card
at him from
E3,
across the room and keep moving.
I'm gonna fucking punch you right in the face. It's time to squad up. This is where one of you writes in. thekindoffunny.com/KFGD. Give me your name, username, platform of choice, and why you need help in a video game. I read it here. The best friends come and find you. Everybody has a good time. Corey from Knoxville needs help on PlayStation 4. His username is C_Scott_. Please, Shuhei. I'm looking for best friends to team up in Fortnite, but not that battle royale stuff. I'm talking about save the world. I've gotten to the point where some missions are tough to do without useless randos and could really use a hand. So, if you're down to play some save the world with Corey from Knoxville on PlayStation 4, hit him up on PSN C_Scott_. Please, Shuhei, let them change their names. Andrea.
Yes, Greg.
We ask people watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames to keep us honest and go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up when we record the show so we can set the record straight. For everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and podcast services around the globe. What do we screw up today?
Well, today we screwed up some stuff. I don't know. I'm
You're loading. You're trying to find it
so I can read it.
Yeah, I haven't deleted it in a while, have I?
No, you haven't since like May 29th.
Okay, you know what?
All right, let's see here. Lord Apone says the secondary weapons in Destiny 1 were special weapons, and in Destiny 2 are energy weapons. Yes, energy weapons and special weapons. Thank you. Tricky Ricky says when Andrea said Prison of Elders, Greg just seemed to stare blankly at Andrea. Just want a clarification. Does Greg know what PoE is?
No,
or
not
is he
at
just
all.
agreeing with Andrea because she's right?
No, I was like, Destiny. She's saying a lot of things about Destiny right now.
Yeah, so Prison of Elders was essentially like what I said it was.
Yeah, you described it. That's why I didn't follow up, because you actually said what it was.
Yeah.
And I just went, But I would have asked the question. Here's how you know I'm a good interviewer. I would have asked the question if she tried to move on, but she explained it.
Lord of Pone says High Moon Studios also did some work on the original Destiny. I did not know that.
There you go. They also made that Bourne game, Jason Bourne. That's how
They
I met
also
him.
made some of the Transformer games.
Oh yeah. People liked them.
All right. Lord of Pone, Spyro Trilogy and Dragon Quest XI are also coming out in September. Jesus. Dragon Quest and Destiny 2 Forsaken are the same day.
Oh my
Those are
God.
two very different audiences.
Still gonna hurt him.
Okay. Not to say that you can't like both of those games, but
the Venn
hardcore
diagram,
JRPG
the Venn
versus
diagram
first-person
isn't
shooter.
as in depth
Yeah,
as you might think it might be.
Okay. Oh yes. I don't think you mentioned this. MaxD37 says on the reveal stream for the new D2 expansion, Deej said that the expansion will also be playable at Guardian Con in Tampa, Florida.
Oh.
So with Andrew being a big Destiny fan, will anyone from Kind of Funny be at Guardian Con?
No.
Sadly, no, because July is a very busy month. Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Lord of Pone says the new Diablo job postings have been around since 2016.
Oh, interesting.
Also, Lord of Pone, Diablo on Switch is coming according to Eurogamer, but implied the announcement is still a ways off. The Twitch chat, this literally just says Twitch chat. Somebody from the Twitch chat just wrote, this is from the Twitch chat. Vampyr, Greg. Peer, like peer reviews, being judged in a room full of your peers. Vampyr.
Great. Yeah, fuck your face, Vampire. That's what you get, all right? You're going to name your game Vampire. That's what you're going to get, all right? Especially when nobody was talking about it.
Oh, Lucar Wolf says, breaking news, Fortnite for Switch has been all but confirmed as it's been discovered that the Nintendo pushed an update for the game on the eShop.
Ooh, it's happening.
The link is from Reset Era.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. Z, it looks like, it says, I think in new dates you missed that the entire first season of Life is Strange is coming to Android next month.
I sure did. Sure did miss that.
Thank you for the
Kevin's
update.
not here to keep me honest about my Android release dates. That's it.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Remember, each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, head over to kindoffunny.com/KFGD, be part of the show, then watch it later youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, or watch it live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, and listen anytime you want on podcast services around the globe, no matter where you get it. Thank you for your support. We're all very excited for E3. Andrea, break a leg at EA on Saturday.
Thank you so much, Greg.
We will be watching here and judging you so harshly.
I bet you will.
So harshly.
Listen, the amount of pressure I have picking out the outfit I'm going to wear, but Tim Gettys will be proud to know that I got a pretty cool bomber jacket.
Wow. All right. But there you go. Your first E3 leak from the EA press conference. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.